So once again, I welcome you all in today's webinar on generative AI and agentic AI going to be organized by Atrix Technologies. So I hope I am audible properly and my screen is also visible to all of you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Fine, thank you.
Yes, sir.
So just let me tell
Yes,
you
sir.
in very brief that actually this thing that we know as artificial intelligence, so it has gone through many phases, and now it's era of generative AI, and recently the paradigm shift was towards agentic AI. So nowadays we can say the phase in which most of the applications are going to be developed, especially AI applications, AI apps, are related to generative AI and agentic AI. As currently most of the projects are going to be developed using generative AI techniques and in the domain of agentic AI, that's why it's very much important that are we updated with the things related to generative AI and agentic AI or not. It may be possible that you will be very much familiar with the basic concepts of machine learning, and even if you have developed some machine learning projects, that's also quite good. But if you want to be updated, and if you want to be with the pace of the AI projects, then you have to learn this generative AI and agentic AI. So that's why it is very much important. But let's start with the thing that what actually we mean by generative AI. So this whole debate or whole thing has been started with the things like we know that artificial intelligence, it means artificially we want to achieve the intelligence that as a human being we already have, but we want to have that intelligence in our machines, in our computer systems. And of course, as we know that as human being, we can write new text, we can draw some images. Of course, painters, or we can say drawing artists, can generate beautiful images, beautiful sketches, beautiful paintings. But as a human being, we have that intelligence. So whenever we are talking about having this intelligence of creating new data, that data may be in terms of text, like a poem has to be generated, like some content has to be generated, or we have to generate some images, even some music, even some videos, and even the codes that we want to generate for our software projects. So that as a human being, actually we have that much intelligence, and if we have experience, knowledge, then we can generate. But now in this generative AI era, actually we are talking about those AI models which can create this type of new data. So you can see that this is not productive AI. Productive AI means one frame, one design, one format will be there, and it can produce the similar samples. Actually, this name of this domain is generative AI. It means it will be completely new, and it will be very much similar to the text, image, music, code, or video that humans can generate. So that is the base concept or the introductory idea of generative AI. It means we will be talking about only those models that can be used to create, that can be used to generate new data, and that data may be in terms of text, image, music, code, or video. So let's come to the point that how these generative AI models actually work. So these generative AI models are actually have been already trained with a large data set. And let me tell you that how large this data set is. So all the data that we have on internet, so that complete data that we have on internet had been used to train these generative AI models. So you can assume, or you can visualize that how vast is the data set and how variety of the things that you will get in that data set. So if you can assume generative AI models like a person, like an expert who is having all the knowledge of that we have on internet today. So that is the you can say volume of generative AI models and projects. Of course, technically, as you all are, most of you are from computer science background, so you know the basics of the machine learning, deep learning. So of course, in the basic, technically, actually, the models that we are going to use and that have been used for generative AI models are actually deep learning models. So deep learning models means where we use neural networks. Neural networks means mathematical mimicking, mathematical model to mimic the concept of human brain. Like in human brain, neurons are connected, and from one neuron to another neuron the information will be passed, and then the final decision will be taken. So the same concept, but of course it is in human brain, so it is a human organ, but we mathematically tried to mimic, we tried to copy that concept in our neural networks. So wherever we are going to use the concept of neural network or neural network based models, that comes into the era of deep learning. So deep learning models are actually in the background of generative AI. And of course, these deep learning models have been trained on that much large data sets. So that's why we call it large language models. So large means the data, largeness of data, and language means it can communicate, it can interact with you in human language, like you see in the chat GPT. It will be in the conversation mode. Whatever you will write, it will reply just like as a human is there and human is replying to you. So this NLP, natural language processing models, have been also used in the background of generative AI. So this was the basic overview of generative AI. That what do we mean by generative AI actually? Let me go to the thing that how actually generative AI works technically. So the key techniques are a famous model that has been developed by DeepMind team of Google, that is transformer models, in which attention mechanism has been implemented, and on the basis of that this GPT, generative pre-trained transformer model, has been developed. BERT model has been developed, and the llama and this type of other large language models and models have been developed. So all these are actually based on transformer model. So we need to know the complete architecture of transformer, how this actually implement the attention mechanism. So all those things we have to know, then only we will be able to get all the things related to generative AI. If we want to develop a new generative AI model, or we want to develop a generative AI application, then we need to know all these basic concepts. I am not talking about that using only generative AI applications. So of course, for using ChatGPT, don't need to know about transformer and the architecture of transformer, because users will not be so much actually having all that knowledge. But if you want to develop generative AI projects, these key techniques and tools we need to know. Then concept of diffusion models for creating images, like stable diffusion and DAL-E, that I hope you will be knowing. So it will be, these models have been used to generate new images. And GAN model in which we have architecture of discriminator and generator, those will be actually working in a zero sum fashion. So those GAN models, how those GAN models can be used to generate new images. It means, for example, if you have less number of images for a particular CT scan of any disease, but you want to create new CT scans for particular disease, then you can use these GAN models and variants of GAN like DC GAN, style GAN, C GAN, and different big GAN. So these type of GAN variants you can use to generate new CT scans. Those CT scans actually not exist in real life. So that you can use. Even similarly, you can use to generate faces of human being. It means new faces you can create just like a normal human being, but that human being will not really exist in on this earth. So that you can do with all these models. So we need to know the working architecture, complete architecture, how we can use, how we can code, and how layers we can design using coding, and all those things that we need to know if you want to develop generative AI projects. So of course, the final output, or we can say final application, will be in terms of that, like you will provide some prompts, some inputs, and it will provide you as output that creative and realistic content that we use on ChatGPT, Sora, Gemini. So all these models, the final application will be in that form, but you need to know all these things to develop these type of applications. So let me just brief you that how, where we can apply these generative AI models. So for creating text, of course, you know that we can develop chatbots. We can use it for code generation for our software models, or software, we can say projects. And for creating images and videos, like in Sora, you can write some prompts and it will create a video for you. In audio, for music composition, for voice synthesis. So there are so many apps you can, I hope you have been familiar with, like Suno.ai. So there are so many things that applications, as applications we already have. Even it can be used in education and research for personalized learning and for scientific discovery and research. Nowadays, researchers are using it extensively. So we need to know all those things, and we have also to learn that how we can develop these type of applications. I am not talking about only using these type of applications, because you, for using these type of applications, you don't need to know all the technical details. You have to know only the prompting techniques, that how you are going to write prompts. Next, let me come to the paradigm shift that actually has already happened in the domain of AI, that now we are talking about agentic AI. So this is actually the next evolution beyond generative AI. That what after generative AI, we have now the era of agentic AI, where we are talking about AI agents, that something like that we have in our real life, like we have travel agents, okay, like we have booking agents, like we have some customer care agents. So what they do actually in real life, you will tell the problem to those agents, and they will do all the steps related to solve that problem. For example, you will tell that travel agent that I am planning to visit this type of place, or any hill tourist place, where I can go in this summer vacation. So what he will do, he will actually compare all the travel plans for hilly areas especially. Okay, like in India, if you want to go to Shimla and Uttarakhand, as you know that in news there are so many issues, landslide and flood issues. So it will avoid, so it will automatically take decision that it's not good to go there. So it will be doing all those things, and it will provide you the complete plan, and it will book tickets for you, and it will even send you the reminders. So that travel agent will be doing that complete thing to process that task. Okay, so similarly, we are talking about those AI agents that will be doing decision making, or autonomous decision making, and also the steps related to execution of those tasks. So AI agents are having actually the capability of perceiving, planning, and acting also in real world environments. So that is the basic overview of agentic AI. But let me tell you that what core components or tools or framework as a developer we need to know, like LangChain we need to know, Crew AI we need to know, OpenAI agents through API you can use, AutoGPT is the model that you can use in your projects if you want to develop a project related to agentic AI. Similarly, you can go for integrating APIs. Okay, if you want to get some data from that external website, so you have to connect through APIs. You have to provide some access to databases and some external data systems, like if you want to compare the prices for different travel plans, so you have to give access to using internet to your software projects. So all those things will be the part of the development for any agentic AI application, so that we need to know. And of course, I hope all of you will be aware that now we are talking about the things where we can actually, we are already having these applications based on agentic AI, like for business automation, like for customer care support, like for HR boards. HR boards means if any new one is going to join a company, so HR boards will be doing all the things to onboard that candidate. Okay, so it will be sending emails, it will be sending all that kit, onboarding kit, welcome kit to those things, and it will be sending all those Google forms. If there will be any issue in the details provided by the candidate, then it will send the reminder email. So all those things will be automatically doing by these HR boards. And actually in background we will be having different AI agents in synchronization. They will be working to implement this type of agentic AI project. Similarly, we can have for software agents. Software agents, it means for debugging your code, even the code refactoring, code we can say regeneration of the some particular functions of that code. Then in research and healthcare, like drug discovery, drug designing, personalized medicine, if we want to provide. And a smart system, like of course we you know that in India also we have self-driving cars, but it is in experimentation phase. So we have this type of systems where IoT sensors and AI ecosystems we are going to combine. So of course this will be working with the help of AI agents, and those AI agents will be actually operating in synchronization. They will be helping each other, they will be providing input. So input of one output of one agentic AI will be input of another AI agent. So in this way this complete agentic AI project will be developed. And even now we are having already these type of agentic AI applications, agentic AI projects. So now most of the companies, most of the organizations, like whether it is our Indian companies like TCS, Wipro, they are also switching to these type of we can say applications where agentic AI and generative AI can be used. And of course the US and UK based European organizations have already moved. It is not that they will be moving to this type of project, they have already moved. You can see that Meta has invested on super intelligence project, and as you know that OpenAI has already announced that we are going to have a agentic AI and based robots and all those things. And let me just tell you that how this type of project you can develop. So just to brief you the things that we have recently actually developed these type of projects with our students. So I just to demonstrate that, I would like to invite Mr. Pulkit to tell you that how a complete project you can develop or using in this domain of agentic AI and generative AI. Okay, so just let me go to